Hey everybody, I want to give you a few style pointers in this video. So we'll start off asking you what's wrong with this sentence. Make a choice. This is grammatical, right? It's even in imperative mood. It's giving somebody a command to do something, but there's something wrong with it. So let's look at it. When we have a sentence like make a choice, we're burying the thing that we actually want the reader to do, to choose something, in in this sentence here. So I've diagrammed it here so that we can see we have this verb to make, and then we have this noun phrase, a choice. So we can see that a choice visually is like a level below where this verb to make is. It's buried, in other words. And while, this may not seem like a huge deal, the more we do this in a procedure or some instructions, the harder they are to understand. And we want to do everything we can to make our instructions as easy to follow for our readers as we possibly can. So revising this to just say choose something, whatever we want them to choose, will make this much clearer. So let's look at a different one. Sign into your Google account by entering your email and password. What's wrong with this one? Well, it's something similar. If we're talking to an audience, maybe that's unfamiliar with how to use a Google account, they may not know how to sign in to something. They will probably know how to enter an email and password. So rather than kind of hiding this real command to enter the thing that we physically want them to do, the thing that they'll know how to do, rather than burying that in this prepositional phrase here that we can see indicated right here with this PP, we just want to reverse the order of this sentence to say enter your email and password to sign into Google. And we have that rearranged here. So what's wrong with this one? And we'll think of this one as if it's a numbered step in a set of instructions. That's why there's a 4 in front of it. A pop-up window will appear, and here is where all information regarding your account will be entered. Now, first off, this has a number of problems with it. We know that when we're looking at numbered lists of instructions, those items need to be in imperative mood. In other words, they need to start with a verb in imperative mood. This one doesn't. It starts out with this noun phrase, a pop-up window will appear. And then it has this really kind of grammatically complex sentence. Here is where all information regarding your account will be entered. I've diagrammed this one here just to show you how complex this is. This second area over here, and I'm not showing you this because I want you to memorize how to do this, but just to show you that this sentence is really difficult it's really complex grammatically. We have some inversion happening with that's indicated by these arrows. This is something it uses this grammatical thing called a reverse cleft. It's just not not an easy to understand sentence. So if we were going to revise this, a pop-up window will appear, and here is where all information regarding your account will be entered, we can do it like this. We can say press the sign up button, a pop-up window will appear, and then the next step would be enter the following information: name, email, date of birth, and password. This is so much easier for a user to read and to understand than what we had earlier. Now, with this sentence, what's redundant about it? Read the rules on the left-hand side. Well, this one's maybe a little bit picky, but if we're talking about something that's on the left side, we probably don't need to say the left-hand side. We can just say read the rules on the left side. Now, here's a list of major steps, and I want you to look at it and determine if you notice any errors here. This one relates pretty directly to the social media instructions that you're doing. I'm noticing as I look at this list that each of the items, almost all of them, seem to be parallel. They each start with, or a lot of them start with an ing form of a verb. So Number 1, downloading and finding Instagram. Number 2, creating. Number 4, adding. 5, discovering. 6, uploading. But 2 and 7 don't. So we have some steps that are not in parallel structure here. What we would need to do is revise steps 2 and 7 so that they also begin with an ing verb. So registering, maybe, and setting up your account and privacy settings. That's a little redundant, but something along those lines can make this list parallel. Now, how about this example? Installing Pinterest and setting up an account. That's our major step. The nested step, step 1.1, is installing Pinterest. To install Pinterest, go to the Google Play Store and search Pinterest in the top search bar, press install next to the Pinterest name. By now, we've practiced this enough. You probably see that there's a number of steps in each of these, or in this little paragraph down here, and the sentences that come next to these numbers are not in imperative mood. So how can we fix this? Well, we can say, okay, our major step, or the thing that we're going to tell you to do, is going to be about installing Pinterest. Then we're going to give the reader some information. You can't use Pinterest until you download the app. And now here's how to download the app. And each of these items next to these numbered lists are in imperative mood. Open the Google Play Store, type Pinterest, press install, and we can even include a figure next to each one so that we have that visual representation as well. How about this? Is this confusing to you? Choose and upload your profile picture. This step is optional and can be completed later. This may be confusing to your audience for sure. So what if we said this? Choose your profile picture and then upload your profile picture. That might be better. Maybe that breaks things down a little too much for you, but for your audience it might work better. Or is this better? Maybe the best option. Add your profile picture. Then we could include this little note. Adding a picture is optional, but I recommend adding one. It's easier to connect if you can see their face. And then we can give some instructions here for how to add a picture. Open your photos, choose a photo of yourself, and so on. All right, that's all I want to say about these pointers. I hope they're helpful. Let me know if you have questions.